I gotta focus.
Right,
this is taking a great amount of like
let's kill this
mana.
beat. Let's kill it.
Let's go.
How did I get here? Let me just flaunt. Saw the opportunity, topping the ops.
Okay.
Nigga on rocks, get off my cock. No, you ain't working, boy, get off the clock. This is a travesty, y'all are just tracking me. Losing the mood to play, boomerang back to me. Soon they be bouncing around like they hacking and sacking me. None of them in the same class with me. Woo, woo. People stealing their style like they new here. Then they up in the air cause I flew here. I know they leeching off me, but I don't let it stop me cause they'll drop the ball in the new year. I'm locked in for the maul in like a beast wild. I'm shooting shots like I'm Chris Kyle. If you sleeping on me, then no free trial cause I can freestyle for like 3 miles.
Hey, that was good.
Fire, boy. Dude, watch out for his mixtape, guys. We're just gonna burn your house
Also,
down.
he just wrote those lyrics too. Like,
Yeah, it
it
would have been
was
like
10
30
minutes.
minutes.
we were waiting for our.
That's 30 minutes.
We were waiting
Don't be
for
telling
Polo.
them 10
Alright,
minutes.
you know, I'm
That was still off beat, but I went in.
All
on
right,
it.
it was
So-
good. It was
that
good.
was
It was
really
good.
That
It was
was
fire.
good. That was good. Hey,
I'm happy.
Hey, his EP's dropping soon, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a very interesting podcast.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very diverse.
This is
you
gonna be
know?
amazing, you know? Just,
we're gonna cover everything.
I'm so hydrated. I
topics.
can feel the H2O flowing through my veins. There's
power
more
of
water
water
than blood.
compels you.
There's more water than blood. You know how blood is red because of like oxidation?
Bro, it's
There's so
clear.
much water that it's like super red because water oxidizes iron and
This
iron's.
man's a
You
chemist
dig
right here.
what I'm saying?
I dig what
I
you're
got a C- in honors chemistry.
Bro, you didn't even take AP.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Dang.
I got a 4 on apes though, and I didn't take the class. I only studied for 5 days.
Yeah.
Dude, that's called
That's
real
really
skill right
good.
there.
It's
Yeah.
a hard
And I got a 4
finesse.
and I
You know
took
what
the
I'm
class.
saying?
That's good, all right.
Gang
you know,
moves only.
Let's
Power
go.
moves only.
So, what is up, guys? How you guys doing? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of our podcast. Today we have another special guest. We got Christian Sanders. Christian, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Christian Sanders. I'm 18 years old. I'm brown. I'm from Glendora,
he's
and
brown.
I run 60 miles a week.
This man's
That's
fast.
nice. Yeah, he's on the Mount Sac cross
Mount
country
Sac
team.
cross country team. Mounties repping. Season ain't even started yet, but we eating already.
Yeah, so we
You
got
best
Christian.
believe.
And
said.
he's just he's a homie of ours. Back I remember English.
Way back.
English.
No, way
I think
back,
Bell.
bro.
No, wait.
I
we
met
go
you
way
in
back.
4th grade.
Third grade.
Third grade.
Third grade. Miss Long's
I met
class. Miss
Mateen in
Long's
1st
class.
grade.
Yeah, we have a history together. We've been
Yeah,
friends since
for
1st
sure.
grade.
We've all been friends since 4th grade. I know I met you in 4th, I think.
Yeah, we.
I'm on the same wavelength
You
as
were
these
you were in
boys.
our class with Miss Long, right?
Yeah.
3rd grade, yeah.
Oh,
we used to play Wizard 101 together.
We did play Wizard 101
That game was
together.
so OG.
That was so sick.
Yeah, so we go way back. But I remember Belle's class. Shout out to Belle. You're
Yeah,
a fire
shout out
teacher.
Belle.
You're such a
Mrs.
fire
Belle.
teacher.
I hope she having fun in Peru right now. She in
Yeah.
Peru
Oh, really?
right now.
Peru.
Yeah.
Sick.
She
on
just
that
took
vacay.
off.
You're supposed to get coffee with her.
I was supposed to get coffee with her, and then I said,
you
Miss
like
Belle, let's
Monster?
get coffee. And she said, I just left for Peru. And I was like, I'm not going to Peru to have coffee with you, Miss Belle. I'm sorry.
No, you go all the way down. They got like really good, coffee down
They
there.
probably do have good coffee.
I have a Persian rapper friend who went to Peru just to film a music video.
yeah, well,
That's called real
I
dedication.
don't possess so much wealth that
Yeah.
I'm able to do these things. So,
If you sell your belt.
unfortunately. Sell my belt.
Yeah.
My belt.
Christian's
Yeah.
always
No,
flexing his
flexing
belt.
belt.
Yeah, Christian's
The
flexing
belt
with
is
the
below table level, so
Alexander
the flex,
McQueen
the
sweater.
flex starts here. Alexander McQueen. All right. What are we doing today, boys? I don't know what we
All
talking
right, Mateen,
about.
what's on the
Throw
game
it out.
plan?
All
Throw
right,
out the
so
line of
today
them.
we're going to be talking about art as an overarching subject because it's something we're all very interested in, especially Christian. And we're going to just start with the question, what is art for and what should it do?
By the
All right.
way, before you go into this, let me cut you off a little bit.
Ooh.
When we say art, we're not talking about. You see this fine painting that I painted back when I was
amazing.
8.
So other
Yeah.
than that masterpiece,
We'll get into this, but
Yeah.
you know, I've got my own
Definitely.
I don't know, I've got my own
Yeah, no,
curriculum
but what I'm
for
trying to
art,
say,
my
when we
own-
say art, it's not just like, painting.
it's a broad
No, no.
category.
We're talking about everything.
It's like
We're
the
talking
fine
about
arts.
we're talking
category.
about music.
And that's what I'm about to say
movies,
right now.
fashion.
So what's art for? We're
Yeah,
going to
go
start
to
with
it.
a baseline fundamental definition of art. And essentially, in my opinion, art being a very subjective facet of the human race. Art is something that is created by someone to be admired either for its beauty and its creation or the deeper message that it portrays through its creation, through its form, And so art isn't just paintings or music, which are probably the immediate examples of art or forms of art that come to people's mind when you say the word. But art could be anything. Art is the result of creation. And so art could be film, art could be fashion, it could be It could be anything. Architecture is good art. Anything in which a person is creating, cooking, blacksmithing, anything like that. Memes could be art. I think that's a pretty antagonizing opinion, and I'm not gonna delve too deeply into that
Area
one.
51,
But
guys.
think about it. Memes are created by someone. They're curated by meme pages, which function essentially the same as a museum would to curate or showcase other forms of art, and they portray a sense of relatability or emotion that is felt by the person who's seeing the meme as they scroll down their Instagram feed and drop a like or whatever. So that's what art's for. And art, just boiling down to it, art is something that I think should move the human soul in one way or another. It doesn't have to make the person think. It doesn't have to be too deep, just as long as it impacts the spirit somehow.
Bro, look, this was not staged, guys. He did not write this.
Yeah, that was
just
all off the top of his head.
Good job, man.
Yeah, that's
all from his
Christian's
brain.
monologue
Whenever
right there.
Christian
It's my
talks,
monologue.
he's basically producing art. Like,
Yeah, that is
this-
art.
that was
That is art.
This kid right here,
man.
This is ArtCeption.
Full circle. It's so meta. It's so meta.
It's ArtCeption.
Yeah.
We staying hydrated out here. Hydration Nation.
Yeah.
Hydration's
H2O for the
Water.
so. You know what I'm saying?
You heard it here first.
You dig.
You heard it here first.
All right. He did hear it here first.
Yeah,
Sponsored by
before
Kirkland.
we forget to start, again, I'd like to thank $10 Ties for sponsoring us.
That's right, $10 tie guy.
$10.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out $10 tie guy.
Go to Instagram and follow him, and make sure you cop yourself some of one of the finest ties in the world.
They are quite
finest.
They are
magnificent.
art.
Finest.
It's a piece
It
of
is
art.
art. It is art. It's
It's a good
fashion.
job. That
It's
is a piece of
fashion.
art. Henry actually gave me a tie from $10 tie guy. I gotta say, I wore it to a wedding, and it's very nice. It held
Very
the whole
material.
night.
I'm not gonna lie.
And I got a
I have
compliment
yet.
on it too.
I have yet to purchase a tie from the one and only $10 tie guy. However,
Go ahead.
I did enter the giveaway.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten
Oh,
word
did
on
you?
that yet,
So-
but I have scrolled down the feed. I stalked the gram of the $10 tie guy a little
like
bit,
that, I
and
like
I see that from my digital observation of them that they come in a very nice. Luxurious satin finish, and $10. That's a great discount.
It is
That
crazy.
incredible.
Yeah, it's in the
If
name
you go to
$10
somewhere like
tie guy.
Express, you pay like $50.
I do
for a tie.
have an inquiry though. I do have an inquiry.
Yeah.
So on the back of the tie, is there the loop where you can sort of slip it through?
Yes.
Because
Yes,
they have the
see,
loop.
I asked this question. It might seem like a stupid question, but I
No, that's important.
actually the tie that I wore to graduation, right? It was from Express, and it was a little bit stiff. It was on the lower end of Express ties, but it didn't have that. So the back just kind of,
Yeah, it just
I
swings
am
around.
something of an amateur tire of the tie.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just
Super
kind
long.
of dangling. I had to take a golden pin in the shape of a pineapple from my sister's room, and I had to stick it through and use that to hold it in place. And I got some compliments on the pineapple tie. I'm just saying,
Okay.
it would have alleviated the process a little bit if it had one of those loops. So it's good for me to
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that
it definitely does.
when I win this giveaway, that
it's not
it's
if.
gonna have that loop back there. That's a key function of the tie.
Now, again, on the giveaway, I was supposed to announce the giveaway winners, but I have been getting I've still been getting some recent DMs from Instagram about the giveaway. So I'm going to encourage you guys. I'm going to extend it for like another 2 weeks, and I'm going to announce it on the next episode of the podcast. You better be watching the next episode, or else how are you going to know you won that tie?
You won't
Might
know.
redraw.
You won't know.
That's
If
true.
you don't-
That's
We
true.
actually- we will have to redraw. if you don't
Redraw,
claim
you
it.
know.
Exactly.
Right. So basically, you're going to have to watch the next episode. I will announce.
Y'all gotta stay woke.
I will
Exactly.
print everyone's name, right, on a sheet of paper. I'll put it in a bowl, and I'll just randomly draw it so you guys know it's equal. And we're gonna see who the winner of the tie is. And
Yeah.
Christian.
I have a couple ties to give away, so this could go on for a while. So make sure you go follow. First of all, me, of course,
Wow.
at Henry
okay.
Ding Dong. on
Henry
Instagram.
Ding Dong.
Henry
Obviously.
Ding Dong.
Second of all, DM me that you have followed at $10 tie guy, and make sure you go check his Instagram page out. Obviously, dude, his ties are great. He's got the loopy things. He's got the circly. I don't know
Loopy
what they're
things.
called. What are they called?
It's
The back of the
innovations.
tie.
I don't know. That's the
tie holder.
The
The tie holder.
Is it really called the tie
Style.
holder?
I have no
Wow,
idea.
that is
There's
an
no official
incredible
name, but, you know, it's
we
very
have
nice.
just
Just made that
christened
up.
that feature of the tie.
Yes.
Okay.
The anatomy of the
Yeah.
tie.
But it's got that.
Dude,
so
I
go
agree
buy
with
yourself. It's a super fine tie. Now we got finished with ties.
Oh, I do want to shout out my gram. Hit me with the follow. Underscore
okay, sure.
Christian. Underscore. Hold on. Let me.
Start again,
I'm
start
rebooting.
again.
Underscore Christian. Underscore Sanders. Underscore. You know what it is.
I
You
got
know what it
you.
is. Do
That's
your
nice.
thing. I post about once a month. So stay woke. I'll be popping up on the feed intermittently. Yeah, that's it.
like
That's it. Thank y'all. I love y'all.
Of course.
Great.
That's cap, bro.
That's that. No cap, actually, no cap.
No
I
cap?
want those
Alright.
followers.
All right, so we can go into another aspect of art. So I know you're very much into music, Christian.
I do love
You're
music,
quite an
as you can tell
aficionado of
from
music.
my impeccable freestyle.
Oh, yeah.
That was
my
fire.
impeccably offbeat freestyle from the beginning of this video.
So yeah, we just recorded a freestyle at the beginning of this, and
Right.
while we were waiting to do setup, he wrote that freestyle in like 30 minutes. Like while we were just
See,
waiting.
I already see the question inbound. I can, I'm a visionary, so this premonition, I see it now.
Nice word, bro.
Premonition. Is that an actual word?
It is. It
it's
is. It
from-
means like a
learned it
future
from Crime and
sight, foresight,
Punishment.
a vision.
Vocab.
You're right,
Um,
Crime and Punishment. You should know.
But anyway, so oh
been a
man,
while.
I just lost my train of thought.
Come on, Henry, you ruined it.
Sorry. What's the question?
A freestyle, like, I think it's a misconception that all freestyles have to be off the top of the head.
that's right.
not true. A freestyle is something that is written but has never been laid upon an instrumental before. So like all those double XL
was gonna
freestyles you see, those are pre-written most of the time, unless you're Kodak Black and it's 8 bars long and it doesn't rhyme. But other than that, they are pre-written. So a freestyle is just a fresh verse that's unheard and hasn't been put upon a beat before. So
Interesting.
just don't come at my throat because it's a freestyle, but I wrote it in 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's
didn't
giving
know
us
that.
the real information.
I'm
about
just
music.
saying it
Yeah,
was
it's
16
interesting.
bars. That's over 2 bars a minute.
That's
so
twice as much
got
as
you.
8.
Yeah, no, I always thought a freestyle was just off the top.
that's
of your
my
head.
rate.
Yeah.
I guess music, one of the greatest forms of art. I was at a Dodgers game yesterday. Great game, but I noticed how important music was. Without music, the game literally, like every single time someone stepped up to the bat, music was playing. Once J. Cole plays, there's something about J. Cole.
was
I
singing
don't
the
know.
Dodgers game. Interesting.
No, I mean once his music plays.
I think that's an unpopular
I
opinion.
got you. I
Henry.
got you.
Really.
I do.
You like to battle me on that?
I'm not going to battle you. I think J. Cole possesses a great amount of talent, but he is not a
ain't
popular
great.
take for the most loved rapper in
Right,
the
I don't
industry.
like him.
But
I can name
I love J.
many
Cole
more
for some reason.
that are better.
I
That's
love J.
okay. You
Whenever
should love
his-
whatever you want to love.
Yeah, whenever his music plays, it just clicks, and I don't know. It's the rhythm or the
you can't
beat or
quantify
something.
love.
Favorite
Kanye
album?
West 2019.
Favorite album. Fade on me.
I don't know, man.
Oh, so he ain't a real fan. He don't know the
He's a
album.
real fan. He doesn't have an album.
I
He
have
can't even-
albums,
bandwagon,
but
can't even
I just
pick.
don't know. You know what? GOMD. I just know songs that I love.
Okay,
GOMD.
no, that's fair.
Okay.
Actually, that's probably one of
Middle
his
Child,
better
pretty
ones.
poppin'. But I mean,
Middle Child
that's
is popping. That's a powerful.
It's one of the
banger.
most powerful J. Cole songs right now.
It
I
is.
think. But
Not
besides,
powerful, it's got
besides the
energy.
fact, the music is just so important. I was sitting at the Dodgers game and it just hyped everything up.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it creates emotion because
The Dodgers have their
listen
own
to the
organist.
music and
like that's facts.
It's kind of weird. I was sitting there and dude, the organs
yeah,
were playing,
yeah.
and I'm like, is that an organ?
Yeah,
Like
they have an
who
organist.
in 2019 uses organs
saw it on the
during a
news.
Dodgers game to hype up fans? That
organ. Well,
I saw it on the local
isn't
news.
the
He just
organ
plays
how
the
they
organ.
produce the? That's how they
Oh.
produce that sound.
yeah.
Is
But I
with an organ.
That never.
Oh,
connected.
you realized
he
it
thought that was
clicked
just like
in that
pre-recorded
moment.
or something.
No, I really thought it was.
No,
some-
someone really just got to memorize however many notes that is, and they just waiting. They're like,
But what if he messes
hold up, watch.
probably
Wait,
get-
here it come, guys. And then he drops it on him. You know,
And they
that's a
probably
lot
make
of
6
pressure.
figures,
I'm
bro.
not gonna
And he
lie.
probably makes a lot of money. Just like
Yeah.
Actually, no,
just
I'm
playing
pretty
those
sure that's like
few notes.
pre-recorded. Why would they
I don't
just
think
have-
it is, bro.
It
He
isn't?
says they've got an organ,
No,
so if they have
say
it
no, he
there,
said, like I found that on the local news. They were talking about it.
how it's pre-recorded,
No, that there's an organist, but I don't know. I feel like they had that pre-recorded.
maybe.
You know what I mean?
I think I gotta
But maybe
fact check
not.
that after this.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. We don't
when
know
we
our facts.
roll through
Don't
it
call
in
us
and out after this,
Yeah, we can go to in and out.
we're gonna
after
read
this.
about
I'm down.
baseball game organists.
Yeah, I'm down.
Baseball.
Don't
There's
send
probably
us
like a
emails.
little
We'll
room.
figure it out.
Yeah, no. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so where are we going next with this
wait,
discussion?
no. I have a question.
Yes.
What's up with Area 51? Like, I get it, but at the same time,
You know,
how did that trend?
I think-
how do trends start?
I think
like
Christian
that?
has a good chronology
I
on
do.
the.
I have
why
a
don't
pretty
you-
good.
why don't you
Explain
delve
to me
into
earlier.
it?
So I remember like maybe 2 months back or very shortly after the Facebook event sort of surfaced, I saw it. It was like storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us.
can't
And I was
stop
like,
everyone.
oh, there's for sure like going to be action movies about this in the future.
Yes.
When Hollywood inevitably encounters the drought of fresh ideas,
2034, guys.
yeah, they're going to be
already
like,
did.
all right, guys, we've kept this one tucked for a while. It's time to adapt the Area 51 raid. And my thing is with this is it's hilarious actually. I think that the memes that have spawned from this event are hysterical. But what's amusing to me is that in the humor climate, the comedic climate of 2019, I'm not saying people are going to rush Area 51 because if they do, I will lose a significant portion of my faith in humanity's
No, there's gonna be a
in
thousand
humanity's
show up.
rightness of
Yeah,
mind.
I hope that doesn't
But
actually happen.
people will show up. That's the point.
No,
is
people are gonna
gonna
show up.
up.
For
They're
sure.
gonna camp there. They'll prop up the
Yeah.
barbecues. They'll be flipping burgers with their 6-year-old kids or whatever.
That's actually,
Yeah.
I mean,
burgers
out of
sound
the
good.
million people that signed the petition to go, of course, like
Million people.
It's a million now.
Wow.
I think so.
Oh my God! I
Holy.
thought it was still at 400,000
Or something like- something like some
We are
high
amassing
number.
a small army, guys.
Even if it's like a high amount of people that signed, there's obviously gonna be like at least 1,000
I don't know,
that
I-
actually
Like
show
people
up.
are gonna drive by and just like check it out.
Yeah.
If not.
Yeah,
I'm
for
tempted.
sure.
I'm tempted.
Yeah,
tempted to
exactly.
go?
I am
See, like-
tempted.
and
My
it's not even that
cross-country
far.
team
For
wants
those
to
that
pull
don't
up.
know me, I am a YouTuber or I'm trying to be a content creator, right?
Uh-huh.
Whether I get views or not, I don't care. I'm
June
gonna
bug,
put out.
sorry.
Good.
I'm gonna be putting out content. Content. I'm gonna be putting out content regardless. So basically, I'm down to drive to Area
and the
51.
thing
Just
is-
to drive
It's not
by.
too far.
I'm
Yeah,
it's in
curious.
Nevada, right?
It's 234 miles away.
That ain't
like a
too
5-hour
far. It's a
drive
few
or
hours.
something like that.
We can make a
That's
day
rough
of it.
estimate.
Yeah, at
can-
least we don't live like in
We
New
can
York.
bring
We
our
like-
entire studio.
We can
Yeah.
stop by
To Area
Alien Jerky.
51.
We can go there. You know what I'm
I
talking
don't know,
about?
and
man.
then
I
we
feel
could-
like
we
the
could
only
just-
people that are actually going to pull up are crackheads. And
Crackheads.
If there's one type of unsavory form of scum that I do not care to encounter, it's
Crackheads.
crackheads.
I agree. I don't
You
think
know,
anybody wants to know.
I don't
mean,
love.
lighting up the blunts.
Not a fan of the heads of crack.
I mean, what do you guys think
Facts.
about that? The U.S. government. I think it's rumored that they're actually like sending up more soldiers there.
No, the U.S. Air Force put out a tweet.
Are
and
they
they're
like actually
we're-
deploying?
Yes.
Where the U.S. Air Force is
They're-
committed to protecting America and its assets. And like,
Yeah, so
damn.
apparently they're like actually mobilizing. To
Yeah,
prepare.
well,
Which, like, that's fair.
All I'm saying is
Like,
the
if a bunch of
government
people are gonna
wants to protect their assets,
I mean,
let them do
but
it.
they ain't protecting the aliens' assets.
The real
Alien
question.
lives matter, bro. I'm
real
just
question
saying.
is if
Quality.
the government
They could be
cares more about
green,
aliens
orange.
or
They
us.
could look just like us. But when it comes down to it, we're all sentient beings in
That's
this
true.
universe.
Yes.
I was about to say we're all humans, but they are not.
they're not probably
So,
humans.
Yeah.
They ain't humans.
Let's get back on track,
brothers.
though.
Yeah, let's
please.
get back.
No, I mean
Art.
Area 51. I'm just, memes.
You-
art.
Art.
It has
Oh,
memes,
everything.
yes.
Look,
Very good way of
everything's-
bringing that full
Everything's
circle.
related. Everything's related. Full circle. It doesn't matter.
We
There's-
know what we're
circle for
talking
sure.
about.
yeah. I'm just curious how that even started. Like,
I think it's
one
because,
person just hit up. See, it's not just Area 51. I'm curious about. It's trends. Like, how do trends start?
Right.
I mean, one
That's
thing
true.
that helped it, I believe, is there was a meme. I don't know. You guys probably are aware of like the "Me and the Boys" meme, and that existed before Area 51.
did.
Like
That was
me
a
and the-
solid meme
Yeah,
this
exactly.
year.
And I think that Area 51 was able to like use the "Me and the Boys" meme to like.
Yeah, but how
make
did
it
it?
bigger.
How was it conceived? The idea of raiding Area 51.
I feel like I don't know. Just like one guy came up with it, and like people, he just got reshares and stuff, and everyone just saw it.
Yeah.
And like,
I want to see like who started.
You want to
this.
see like the
very
seed that was planted.
origin.
The basement dwelling redditor that conceived this idea.
Yeah.
I feel like
How do-
I mean this
how
is like
does
a
it, like,
new thing.
flare
Like
up
no one's
that
ever
big?
done like
how do
meme
things
like this before.
start? Like, I get it how it carries on because I feel it, but I don't know how it's. How do you
Yeah.
make
I think there's actually a deep, like, not deep, sorry, that
science
sounds
towards this?
pretentious and cliche. There's like a statement to be made here, and it's how, like, social media, obviously, while not being new, has sort of metamorphosed the way that trends and waves and patterns emerge in society. And this is a prime and recent and relevant example of how a lot of social media culture and youth culture, right now is based upon whoever can produce the most outlandish idea. The person who produces the most outlandish idea that gets people riled up is the person that's going to succeed in the goal of acquiring the most attention.
Okay, but if I tweet it out right now, let's storm like some other position.
If he was the first one to do
But
that.
yeah,
no
that's
one's
what I'm-
going.
that's
no,
what I'm saying.
how is
one's-
that gonna-
No one cares about me.
No, but it's because like it was the first person to do something like that. Because I don't think there was a meme like Area 51.
No. The thing is,
before.
that's how trends start. I don't think fidget spinners. I don't think any other trends start because they are like original and creative. I think they start because there's a hype science going on. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's a term, but I'm gonna coin it right now.
Hype science? I
You're
like it.
definitely-
I like it.
I know that if let's say I said something right and there was and I said it in this like this physical dimension I am in right now, this Earth dimension 1, let's say, right? I know this is crazy, but let's say it's
Earth 1.
dimension 1.
Damn, there's a multiverse, bro.
And
There's a
By the way,
multiverse.
Polo, can you hear the dogs?
All right, Max.
Man.
Could you kindly be
Could
quiet?
you lock Max
What is
up
the
right
dog
now? Let me
bark?
continue about hype science, right?
Oh, right. All right. Hype
So
science.
back
okay.
on hype science.
Hold
I'm
on,
a little
wait,
confused.
wait.
What do you?
Hold on, wait. Because I was talking, so
That's true. So let's
go.
Okay, so I'm a little confused. What do you mean by hype science?
Hype science. Okay, listen. I was trying to get this figured. I know this is a little bit top notch for some of you guys, but don't worry. There's no such thing in reality. Top notch is the way to go. But hype science is basically imagine me sitting right here in a dimension 1. Like, let's say there's a multiverse, right? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Marvel.
Yeah.
We've watched Spider-Man. Multiverse, right? I'm sitting right here in dimension 1, Earth 1, right? Right now, I have just said, let's say, what's a hype thing? Maybe I can start. Maybe shaving my head. Let's say all the guys in the world want to shave their heads for some reason.
Interesting.
I start
wanna
this
shave
trend.
my head.
I start this trend to shave my
have
head,
to.
and I declare that this is the most attractive thing that all males can ever do for this month: shaving your head. And everyone is going to look at me like a maniac because that's the most likely reaction, right? And even though it's my original idea to shave my head and to start this trend right now, I don't know, for whatever reason or something like that, but it's my original idea. This idea is creative, but it's original. And no one's listening to me because everyone thinks I'm a maniac. But then, let's say in Earth 2, Henry, right? Dimension 2 starts this trend, same exact way. Nothing's changed. Said shave your head, but somehow the hype science or the hype has grown to a point where everyone does it. Dimension 2, everyone does it. Dimension 1, everyone doesn't do it. Idea's the same idea, except there is something going on that hypes it up. Do you get what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying.
that
I'm
makes
on your
sense.
wavelength.
Right.
This is InfoWars Part 2, everyone.
Hype science. How do we break this down? What hypes something up? Like action is hyped, right? Glendora High
Yeah.
School, we have action every year. It's basically like class wars, and it's so hyped for some reason. But for example, in other schools, it might not be as hyped as ours. What hypes up
Like
stuff?
Havoc in the Hills. I heard that was a bust.
It was indeed a
In
bust.
South Hills, I think.
Shout out South Hills.
Yeah.
They try to
So-
copy
Is
us.
that what they're calling it?
Yeah, Havoc in the Hills.
Interesting.
They
And
tried to
I
copy
heard
what
another
we're doing.
school called it Clash.
Clash.
That's terrible.
Wow.
That's terrible.
But back
Yeah.
to the hype.
The band
what
is
do you
better.
what do you
What do you
guys
think causes it? Is that what-
Yeah. What do you think hype something up? Just makes it. That's how trends start. It's because it's hyped. Trends equals hype. But how does things get hyped up? You know what I mean? Like fidget spinners. How was that hyped up?
I mean,
I don't give a crap about spinning beans.
I feel like it's just like people buy into the hype, this hype science, or there's actually like kind of a term for this. It's not quite the same as what you're talking about, hype culture. People buy into the hype culture because they want to be a part of something greater than them.
Yeah.
And it's a natural human need for acceptance. Humans are not solitary creatures. They
100%.
rely on one another in order to survive and prosper in this world and within the societies that they construct. So, sorry, it is just a need, a deep-seated desire to be accepted and wanted and seen as part of, the universal movement of a society. And if I may, bring this full circle, right, back to art, may I?
No, go for it.
May
Yeah.
I take the conch?
That's the path we're taking.
I think that while hype culture, the formation and evolution of hype culture is inevitable in almost all realms of art, as the years goes on, generations, like since centuries and centuries ago, there have been movements of art that are more popular within one period of time, one time bracket than another. And in a way, while the first creation, the first piece of art to exhibit this movement, to exemplify it, while it does that is a new idea. It's authentic and it's true to itself and it's unique. as that idea sort of is embraced by a great mass of people, it loses its authenticity. And I think that hype culture is sort of a perpetual nemesis of art and its uniqueness. You know, you see it a lot in fashion. For example, in the, let's say, so in like the high fashion community right now, logo mania, it's known as, is one of the biggest trends right now. Essentially, it is the most soulless example of what fashion can be. It is a blank piece that literally just has the logo on it. It's a black shirt that says Balenciaga. You know, it's it comes in the form of anything with just a large logo on it. And you know, I'm using this as an example because I see it as like a big example of inauthenticity and no uniqueness in art.
So you think it doesn't take a lot of like artistic acumen?
It doesn't. You're literally. It's just a flex. It's there. Like it just says
like a Supreme.
It's a Supreme box logo.
It's a simple box logo.
It's like
simple font, but
exactly.
But
that undermines.
It's
real
like
art,
if I walked in this Alexander McQueen sweater, but instead of it having all of these immaculate and intricate designs on it and features, it just said Alexander McQueen in the middle of it in Times New Roman
font.
Instead, it has like flora and a skull. Exactly, has threads hanging out of it.
There's no character. Right, it's lifeless.
You explain it like this. I wholeheartedly agree that basically everyone wants to be like everyone else.
Of course,
it's like the book Brave New World when we read in our senior year, right? I don't know, you haven't read it yet, but basically what happens is everyone's living and everyone's being like everyone else. Everyone's taking soma. Everyone's doing everything. It's like this. It's a great example. It's a characteristic of our human nature to basically be like everyone else. We want to assimilate into other people. That makes sense. But how does it start in the first place? No one does it. Like, you know what I mean? Like the origin of it. Like everyone like gets like the Big Bang happened.
Right,
but no one knows how it started.
Not everyone.
That's true. That's a good
because no one actually knows. It's like really hard to find out.
But for hype science, like how
it is to boil it down to one atom. You know, the atom that began that it started from is difficult to do.
Exactly,
and I think it's different for every situation, every different like trend.
That is possibly
true.
It's
not something you can like emulate effectively. That's the thing, and I think that's what you're trying to get at.
If you find like a way to emulate it, you have basically unlocked the power to anything. Because if you could make trends,
you've unlocked
some separate territory right
hype
now.
Science is super. Like, imagine being able to create trends. How much money you can make.
Yeah,
you could. It's like a cheat code.
It's like a market.
It's a cheat code.
Let's start with this podcast right here. There is a certain level of hype that could go into this, right?
Of course.
The hype potential, you mean?
Yeah, people could hype this podcast out. People could share it. All of a sudden, it becomes the number one thing in the world.
Yeah,
and everyone watches it. That is hype, and hype drives everything. A lot of things are driven by hype.
And that's like a possibility in all the realm of possibilities.
The clothes
how does
we wear,
happen?
The clothes we wear, for example, like I'm wearing Hollister right now. Like we all have a similar modern clothing design that is not the same back, let's say, 50 years. Right?
Yeah.
And this is technically hype and trends. Everyone wants to be like everyone else.
Regardless of how much you want to convince yourself that you are,
original.
like... You're resetting the paradigm. You're pushing the boundaries. You're a lone wolf in your style. Yeah. At some point, some aspect of your style, whether whatever art you're creating, however you're choosing to express yourself, it's going to exhibit some small inkling, at least, of whatever is the norm.
So I wonder, like, let's say use this podcast as an example, right? How it could really get up there, how it can get the views could get up there, for example, be hyped up. Like I don't understand how it works, but there's gotta be some sort of science that I really wish I could figure out. But obviously I do not have the capacity to figure that out. But basically one viewer watches it. I don't know what is it? One viewer shares it to their friend, another person shares it, and somehow
that's exactly how it happened.
But how does one share well, I guess? It's because in some situations, some things are shared better than other things. So I guess what is the best way of sharing something? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I mean, even Peter can relate this. Going back to middle school, right? I did not dress the best, we'll say, in middle school, like 6th,
No.
7th
Nor
grade.
did I.
Anybody did.
Nor did
don't
anyone.
Yeah. Christian had a bowl cut.
I did have a
Oh,
bowl
he
cut,
did,
and I didn't even just decide I was gonna chop all that disgusting hair off. That I didn't think I was. I didn't even. It didn't occur to me
Yeah.
yet. Like, oh, I should get this disgusting, dirty mop off my head.
Wasn't it even, like, freshman year you had that?
No, March of sophomore year
Yep.
was when the bowl cut departed from my character. You know,
Interesting.
and
you got
here we
that.
are today.
And
I just got
let's-
my hair
hey.
cut 3 days ago. You know,
Yeah, Aquaman cut.
It looks nice. It looks nice.
Thank you, Henry.
And go back to hype. This is hype.
It is.
Disconnected.
That
to
is
this.
hype.
Disconnected
It is.
haircuts.
Look at Peter.
Or
Disconnected.
short.
Shorter
Yeah.
on the top.
You got the
longer on
side
the top.
part.
That's true.
No, it's short on the sides.
Sorry, short on the
Yeah.
sides,
Yeah.
longer on the top.
Right,
Short on the
right.
sides, longer on the top.
It's like
I
a half-
imagine-
I rock the same
Imagine
thing.
the-
I know my look at this mess right here.
it's
That's why I wear a
insane.
hat.
he's wearing a
Yeah.
hat. He's got
That's
hat
why I'm
hair.
wearing
But I
a
think my
hat
hair
too.
looks nice. Not gonna lie, but
Okay.
I'm
It
so
does.
ego here.
Henry's hair
very
operates
flowy.
upon its own gravity.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. It's
But
crazy.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm sure you rock the same way.
Yeah, no,
Some of us more
yeah.
than others, right? But still, everyone's requesting the shorter on the sides,
Right.
long, and
Right.
that looks nice.
It just started like
but
5 or 6
it's
years
not
ago.
always like that. Like that
No.
was not always the.
I want to
hype.
live in a world where the trend is long on the sides, short on the top.
That's
So
crazy.
you could look like,
bald,
I don't
just
know.
shave the top
I
of
feel
your
like
head off.
Martin
I'm trying
Van
to
Buren
think
looks
of-
like that.
Martin Van
remember that
Buren.
guy?
Oh wow. Niche
But
historical
I remember
reference
having
there.
I remember having a strong desire to assimilate back in middle school.
Exactly.
My clothing was terrible. I feel like my natural instinct told me that if I dressed better, and I not just dressed better, but dressed like everyone else around in middle school, right? That I would be able to gain some sort of reputation. People would look at me differently. And in some sense, I felt like that was true. So I basically went, I was like, yo, Henry, you're doing something wrong. I don't know if he's trying to impress the ladies or whatever is going on. But basically, probably
Always a
maybe.
motive.
But basically,
Always.
I went to the store Tilly's because
Tilly's.
they had
Tilly's
Very
is where it's
popular.
at.
It-
No, I'm just
Tilly's
kidding.
stay
No,
local.
Tilly's is
Yes.
overpriced.
Tilly's
Don't go to
stay
Tilly's.
local.
But
I don't
that's-
shop at Tilly's.
don't shop at Tilly's.
But I think it's a
Overpriced.
great place to start if you're trying to up
Yes.
your.
I did indeed get my first pair of legitimate sneakers from Tilly's. I
exactly.
bought
What
the Vans
sneakers?
skate highs, the black skate highs.
The thing
call
is,
those
and that was my
legitimate
first
sneakers?
attempt at really getting fresh, you know, updating my style.
I got you.
Tilly's takes all like the trendy stuff and puts it in their store. That's why like
true.
go
Don't
ahead
forget
and
your roots.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Yes.
Don't shop at Tilly's all the time, but start at Tilly's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to the
Okay.
store,
Yeah, yeah.
see what they got.
It's a gateway drug to fashion.
It's like marijuana.
That's true.
so
It's just like marijuana.
It's the same
heard it
thing.
here.
It's identical.
no, but really, back in middle school, I wanted to upgrade my clothing and not just
Mad
upgrade it,
hydration.
but
Second bottle.
Is there more water? There's
Yes,
one more.
we actually do.
We
It's
have another
okay,
one.
I'm good. I'm gonna piss my pants, honestly, if I
wanna
drink
see that
any more
happen.
water.
I want to see that
I
happen.
don't want to
really
see that
do.
happen. I truly, I am opposed to that idea, Peter.
Okay.
It's okay, though.
But back to the Tilly's thing. I went to Tilly's and I bought some clothes, and back then it was the lawn socks, lawn active socks.
Oh, I
that was
remember
a
that.
thing.
Yeah, I
Shorts
remember
with the
that.
active socks.
Yo,
That
shorts
doesn't
with
make any
active
sense.
socks.
Yep.
The proportions of that silhouette are vile.
I think
Yeah.
they
They
are
are
ugly.
vile.
I know.
But back
Nowadays,
then-
it's just short socks if you're wearing shorts.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
makes so much more sense, by the
Yeah.
way. Like,
That's just a
That makes
trend.
sense. I
what were
totally
we
agree.
thinking,
I-
bro?
Yeah.
What were we thinking when
It
we
was
molded
weird.
that fashion
That's
trend?
iconic.
It was
It's
a thing.
iconic middle school.
It is
T-shirt,
iconic. I
shorts,
still wear the active
For those
socks
people that think I'm
sometimes.
crazy about Dimension 1 and Dimension 2, Dimension 1 says lawn socks is cool. And I really thought it was cool back then. I really, really digged active socks. But now we're in Dimension 2, and we're like, bro, that's weird. Lawn socks are weird.
Yeah, I only wear lawn socks with pants. Like that's
Janowski's.
That makes
Remember
sense.
Janowski's? I don't know if you guys remember. Janowski's were a thing.
I
Janowski-
skated in
Janowski.
Janowski's.
Janowski's were
heck?
Nike shoes. They were Nike sneakers, basically.
Oh,
Yes.
They were
oh.
like Nike
And
Vans.
the prime
Far more
outfit-
durable,
The
though.
prime outfit of my middle school, basically environment was Janowski's, and then active socks, and then shorts, and then some
any
skater
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
Like a Ruka or a Vans t-shirt.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
a lot of
Vans
those.
T-shirts,
Or like a-
active T-shirts right here.
So
No,
For
we're
real,
repping.
for real.
I guess that's hype right there. And
Yeah.
I guess that's art too. The
Yeah,
fact
and
that-
It is.
to run with this concept of wanting to be accepted. I recently watched a movie, Midsommar, directed
Oh,
by
that's right.
Ari
Like that.
Aster, I believe is how you pronounce his name, the director of Hereditary.
Yeah.
Truly 2 for 2. He's a visionary in the thriller department right now, which is sorely needed. But basically, I'm not going to give anything away. the last thing I want to do is spoil this movie for you, for anyone.
Yeah, if you want to watch it.
This movie is, I'm going to start, it is not for the faint of heart. It is an example of, actually, it's a great example of what I said art should do, is move the human spirit, move the emotions, appeal to that sense of pathos. And, it's deeply, profoundly disturbing, which I think personally is beautiful in any form of art. I think art that disturbs the human mind doesn't do so by accident or as a blunder. It's because it seeks to incite discomfort, to evoke a sense of uneasiness in the person that's consuming that art, which I think is one of the most powerful emotions that someone can feel, is just a sense of overwhelming disgust at whatever they're witnessing, which is absolutely nailed by this movie. But anyway, what this movie is about is baseline. It's someone who they travel to a like sort of a cult gathering or a ceremony in Sweden.
It's like a commune.
Yeah. And as the I believe it's 9 days. It's a 9-day like midsummer festival. Yeah. As this event sort of as it progresses, it starts to get more twisted and more disturbing and just frankly out of pocket.
Unsettling.
Extremely. Yeah. But what the main character has gone through a trauma recently, and is already sort of, it's made clear, an attention-seeking individual. Like right from the gun, you sort of get this vibe from her that
she's codependent.
She is
on her
extremely
boyfriend.
Codependent. And when she arrives at this cult, the normal person would want absolutely nothing to do with it, but she realizes sort of that she could have a shot at being accepted by them, and it essentially becomes like her just slowly assimilating into this environment that she's placed herself in, which is disgusting and horrible to watch, but it absolutely ties into like the theme of sort of assimilation into a culture, wanting to camouflage into your surroundings for the purpose of acceptance,
and also wanting to be part of something bigger than.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And going off of that, movies, like, wow, they're one of my most favorite things because you have music, right? Sound, music is great. Nothing to dispute with music,
of course.
But then you combine it with the visuals. Like visual art. You got emotion, like actors.
Yeah, that is two senses.
It's quite the meeting of the forces.
Two of them together. It's really special.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the way where you can create emotion, and like emotion is like how you can get your viewers to truly connect with the film.
Right. Right. If you can't, like, what makes a good film distinguished from a bad film is, for example, I any of you guys like Transformers? I'm sorry, I just watched it last night and it was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I was gonna call you out if you like
plot. Yeah. I thought it was cool. No, like the plot wasn't good, but I thought there was an interesting storyline going on.
It's full of action. High octane.
Lots of budget going into that.
Lots
but the problem with that is I couldn't
CGI.
connect. There wasn't emotion.
That's the thing. A lot of movies like 10, 20 years ago, like Star Wars, it didn't have good graphics, like because it was from 30 or 40 years ago. However,
this man's onto something.
Yeah, the story is good. That's why people love the movie, and even movies before that. Even like if it was black and white, although it was like difficult to watch for us because black and white movies. But it's even if a movie tells a good story, it doesn't matter if the graphics aren't good or something like that.
Because you're invested in like the plot, the characters, and everything
that's the
like
thing.
that.
You can truly connect with the movie when it has a good plot. So that's
like I don't care if like Bumblebee dies or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like he falls into a river and short circuits.
Feel,
like, that ain't going to shake me,
Yeah.
I think that's what Marvel did right. They created a huge story. And
they did. You become very attached to those
Endgame,
characters.
it's a huge payoff.
Right. For a very, very long series of action movies, it does its job of sort of entrancing you and reeling you in very, very well. I cried numerous times.
In my personal experience, Endgame hit me like a truck. Like I didn't know
truly
Marvel was gonna do something like that. Like every Marvel movie was good Like, but I never expected something that extreme.
I am not one to cry in movies. Like, I'm trying to think of movies that I have cried in, and I can think of WALL-E. I inexplicably cried in WALL-E when I was about like 7, whenever that movie came out.
I felt emotions there.
I
too.
cried in
don't cry in
Hachi.
WALL-E, you're not watching
that
it.
movie about the dog at the train station.
Oh, yeah.
Messed
Yeah.
up movie.
That's
He kept complaining for his owner. Or
Oh
something.
my
Yep.
god, that movie exists on this earth for the sole purpose of creating tears.
Wow.
But like that movie, the Endgame, like I cried for more than just sadness. You know, at the end, it's no secret at this point what happens at the end. But at the point where the snap has been reversed and all of the Avengers have been defeated by Thanos and Captain America is ready to just manhandle
Saying that
this
right now is
army on
giving me,
his
like,
own.
goosebumps. Like, I'm thinking about it right now.
And then you hear Sam Falcon talking to him in the headset, and all the portals start open and everyone comes out. As each portal opens and everyone gets their moment. First Black Panther and company comes out, and then Falcon flies out.
Everybody's getting
The
shit.
Guardian, Spider-Man, with each character
like
who's returning
exponential.
to the scene. I keep looking over at my friend, and I'm like, huh. And then eventually, it shows all of them, and all the armies start coming out, and you realize, like,
Avengers.
oh my god,
assemble.
like this is the hardest gathering. This is the greatest crossover of all time.
I remember-
I look at the screen, and it's so overwhelming to me. It's so grand. I just started crying. I didn't know what else to do. I was like, oh, it's Spider-Man. Oh, I love Spider-Man. Oh, it was truly a spectacle.
Yeah.
I've never seen Peter get so emotional over a movie, but
Yeah.
you were
I remember,
like, what?
the thing is, when Black Panther first came out of the portal, like, the entire time, I've never seen a movie.
It's so silent.
I've never seen a movie where I felt like I was on a roller coaster, like physically on a roller coaster. Like, I was like taking deep breaths. I was like, whoa. Because like when I saw Black Panther come out, that
You see the silhouette.
Yeah, I was just like I almost, like, I was about to cry. And like, it was crazy because
It's like you already know what's going down.
Yeah.
Everyone's pulling up, the whole squad.
yeah, I wish I could erase my memory of Endgame and go
Me
watch
too.
it all the
I
time.
actually, honestly, like maybe a couple weeks after I watched it, I was like, oh my god, like I walked out of that movie theater with people that weren't even Marvel fans, and I was like, that was like, do you guys understand what like you just saw, what you just witnessed? And these people were like, yeah, like I don't think I will ever have a movie theater experience that will replicate that. And I truly believe that still, even so many months after the movie's release. I don't think any movie
insane.
released ever will like create such a powerful effect within that theater and the people watching it. I literally went on YouTube afterwards and I looked up reactions to that scene that were filmed in the theater just to hear how the audience was reacting to it and feel like I was reliving it.
Yeah.
And I almost cried again.
Wow.
And I wasn't even in the movie. I just heard people like, they comes out all the Wakandan army. So Yibombe!
Yibombe.
And then there's people in the movie theater who are like Yibombe! And I'm like, oh yes, we are in the movie.
The thing is, I feel like what they did right is they were patient and they didn't try to do what other movies do, where they just like create a huge storyline
to
in
the
one
chase,
movie.
yeah.
What they did is they created a huge time span. And what I think is, if you're not a Marvel fan and you watched every single movie like 1 week before Endgame, you would not have the same experience. The reason why we were so emotional is because when Spider-Man said activate instant kill, we thought about how in Homecoming
Exactly.
he said,
It's
no, I
full
don't want
of
to kill anyone.
callbacks.
Yeah, it's a nostalgia. When you hear Ibambe, it comes back to, okay, sorry. It goes back to Black Panther. Like, you think about, like, it just...
No, you're right about that.
Yeah, it just,
yeah.
every
That's
single
Falcon
time...
coming in and
point.
saying
Yeah.
on
It's
your left.
And you've
Yeah.
been watching these things for years.
You're
right?
invested.
You
Like,
grew
been
up with
festering in your mind.
Marvel.
You understand.
Yeah,
it.
that's the reason why it's so nostalgic.
I've
because-
never been like a superhero guy, like any of those movies, and like I watched Endgame and Infinity War like within the same
He
week.
didn't even like them.
And like
He couldn't
I didn't even
appreciate
like them.
them.
Like they were like I can appreciate them. Like it made you guys cry and like feel very emotional.
Yeah.
So like obviously there's like some like artistic merit to it. But like for me personally, like I was like very dry-eyed. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the thing.
It wasn't like he
You
was
have to
looking
admit
any
it was a
emotions.
good movie. It was a good movie,
Oh,
but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
You were on move.
It's just
okay.
it wasn't. It didn't live up to the hype that
were
I
Yeah.
was expecting.
paraplegic.
I was
I think it's also because reader's response. I don't know if you guys remember in English, but everyone interprets things differently, and the fact that you don't have the same background as maybe we do, maybe
Exactly.
changes
I haven't
for
been
you.
watching these things
But-
for the past few
But
years.
for the general consensus, Endgame
Was-
it was
the
amazing.
number one, the first scene that hit. When that movie theater, like when I sat in it and I just watched the first couple seconds of that movie, it was weird. It felt like, because what movies do, or what I felt during that moment, is the fact that it's different. I've never been in a situation where there was a blip, right? We've never been in that situation.
I
But for
have not evaporated into
yet.
the ether.
But for some reason, why at the same time we felt like we've had that past experience before. I don't know why. There's like deep down in my soul, I felt like a connection. I feel like sometimes in life we are lost, and like we need to claw our way back. I feel like that feeling sort of like, for me at least, showed through like the beginning scenes of it. When the fact that also the feelings of being lost, and the fact that you're alone, you're by yourself. When Hawkeye literally like looked at his family and they weren't there anymore, all of a
that was
sudden
sad,
that hit me, because like it feels like we can, even though
was
that's
literally the
On
first scene.
some level, it does connect. It's it's not like a purposeful allegory,
Right.
obviously, but it's easy to connect that to feelings of feeling like you have no one to rely on. It's a really deep rooted and dark feeling that everyone, I'm sure, goes through at some point in their life.
yeah.
But I'm gonna pick this back up. We're gonna pick up the stick. That was somber, and we're
back.
trying to stay
Yes.
active out here. We're trying to stay hype. We're trying to stay hype. We keeping the blood flowing.
Yeah, energy, let's
Mad
go.
hemoglobins. Mad hemoglobin.
Mitochondria is the
energy.
powerhouse of the cell.
True.
facts.
But anyway, so there's movies like Marvel, which they have a target audience, which is a very large fan base that's invested in the plot that's being presented. And then there's more artistic movies. There's movies that seek, to sort of push the boundaries, see what they can create, what emotions they can create with cinematography, with music, with character development, visuals, anything like that.
Join in after.
All right, so we're wrapping up the podcast here. It was a great talk about art. We did go on certain tangents, but I think it was
The tangents were
Interesting.
enjoyable.
Yeah,
it was like a nice
they were.
little,
They
it was
were.
a nice
They
little
were.
trip.
I felt
Yeah.
comfortable,
Yeah, what did we talk about? Let's wrap it up. We talked about art overall.
We got art, music,
Movies.
Area 51,
Hype.
memes, hype culture.
hype science.
Hype science.
Yeah, hype science. I apologize.
All right, so really appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you watched the entire thing, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Comment, like, comment exactly what guests you want me to see bring on next, or what topic.
or if you want
us
to
cover.
bring Christian back too.
Yeah,
we're bringing him back.
No,
I
we're
would
bringing him back.
definitely-
That's
I would
enjoyable.
really
That's a fact.
appreciate coming back.
a
I
fact.
appreciate you guys bringing me out here. I
Of
was a
course.
little, I was tired today. I wasn't really feeling conversational, but
Yeah.
y'all have embraced me, and I feel good.
The coffee helped too.
The coffee did help. I'm a little bit coked out off of coffee. I don't do
Yeah,
cocaine.
he doesn't do any.
No,
yeah,
no,
no,
drugs.
no,
Stay off
no,
drugs,
no.
kids.
All right.
Yeah, thank you guys so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you
a
all.
good episode. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.